Got a lot of things to do this week. Hello there, folks, and welcome to Power Playground. This is your host, Michael, and this week I'm going to be showing you all my progress throughout many small miscellaneous projects that don't make it into their own videos. As you can see to this pile here, there are a lot of things going on here. A bunch of things, of course, kind of self-explanatory. Batteries for the e-bike, there's some 3D printing stuff. Another thing is I've received 3 spools of high intensity LEDs, which will be replacing this arch light. So that'll be the first-ish project I want to tackle because it's not really pumping out enough light, and I think hopefully these are going to be a little more wider than these bluish white LEDs that are here that kind of wreck my white balance, stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next miscellaneous project whenever I start doing it. Okay, so I got my first little mini project. As you can see, there's a lot of clutter on my project desk here that I'm working on my 3D printer. So what I decided to do was, I got this little top for a toolbox I'm going to use for another project. I don't like using these things in toolboxes because tools just tend to fall through this hole, but I think it'll be perfect for storing little bits like this that I don't really want to magnetize using like a magnetic parts tray like this, because all this stuff is now magnetized, and of course that's just a bit of a pain sometimes because of course my tools end up being magnetized along with it, and sometimes you just don't want that. So clear some stuff out of the way, try not to shank myself with an X-Acto knife. And I got some of this, it's like a shelf liner, just got some scrap bits of it here, so I'm gonna find my scissors real quick. Actually, might be better off with an X-Acto knife, to be honest. Just gonna line it up. I always like getting textured stuff with like a pattern on it if you want to cut like vinyl like this, because it's really useful because you can always just follow the little pattern. You don't have to worry about like measuring it out ahead of time. You can just use it as a reference. I just use little bubbles as a guide. If you notice, it's kind of wants to escape. Basic solution to that is to get some good old blue tack. But before I do so, I want to cut out another piece. Actually, I want to make sure and see if the other side is symmetrical. Oh, okay. It is. However, it does have this little like notch, so we'll have to account for that. So, yeah, looks like right on this notch here. Hey, there we go. Now where did my sticky tag go? Oh, right here. Hopefully this will remedy some of those issues. Yeah, I feel like whenever I do these videos, it's always a lot of organization. Like I said, this isn't really a permanent space, so it's to be expected. So if you do watch these update videos, and if you do watch each of them, which I hope you do, yeah, just expect this to happen. This is a normal occurrence. Yeah, there we go. So same thing with this guy. So there we go. We can just I can put my little spare parts. They don't really move around a whole bunch. And of course it's deep enough for like just these tiny little parts. Not too bad. It's way easier to deal with stuff. And of course nothing really magnetized. Another mod I might do at some point is I'm probably gonna weigh it down just so I don't like smack it off the table accidentally. Alright, on to the next project. Alright folks, back here with another random project here. Good bit of days have passed since I've last filmed one of these guys. What I'm going to be doing here now is I have this benchtop power supply I've wired up in another video. I need to test out these LED strips that I purchased here. So I have these I used on the cabinet, and these 3 new ones that came from Banggood. Okay, so that's okay. Let's kind of create a natural barrier for these cables so they don't spark each other out and kill my... Okay. So those are definitely a lot wider. Yeah, it's hard to really tell with the camera, but yeah, these a lot more wider than those. So that strip works. I think I need at least 2 of them. Just making sure they all work as they should. So they seem to be pretty bright, which is nice. So there we go. We have at least 2 sets that work properly. I'm going to try to devise a way. What I'm probably going to have to do is get heat shrink because I want to take these lights out here because they are wrecking my white balance. They are not very good for when I'm filming. So yep, I'm going to go ahead and start ripping these guys out. I'm going to turn these lights off. Get my heat gun. Now, unfortunately, I neglected to actually shoot a before type shot before just to see how bright these are. But imagine if I'm going to put double or triple the lights here. I know like it's going to be a 600 LED per meter instead of 300, so they should definitely be a good bit brighter. But the LEDs are smaller, but I'm going to double up on the strips, so I think we'll be good. There's a problem with using the heat gun on this guy. I hot glued the frame together so it actually started coming apart. Oh shit. Another AC adapter eliminated. Just the old lighting. Quite a bit of lighting. Actually, I'm just going to use it as a reference for the other strips. If I can get it to unstick from each itself and the gaff tape. So, yeah, it starts from here, goes like way more past there, so we got quite the distance here. Cool deals, we already have these leads ready to rock, which is really nice. That makes this installation pretty easy because I'm just kind of cut ends off of 2 spools just to be lazy, so I don't have to do a lot of extra soldering. Right there, I think is where I want to go. Boom! First strip done. Fire up the hot glue gun. Alright, so our hot glue gun is drooling with anticipation here. So I'm going to go ahead and start tacking this bad boy on. I think I need a glove for this. Fingers are getting way too sticky. So yep, I've had to install a vice grip at the top here because it was starting to come apart as I was heating everything up. Checked a bit more hot glue here and hopefully that will keep it up and stable. So that in itself, slightly better, but definitely want to go twofold on this operation. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in the second strip. Night and friggin' day there. Holy crap, that's a lot brighter. Now I have a good bit of visibility on the workbench here. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, there's like a tiny little dead segment right here, which sucks. As you see, we got a little dead segment here. Bit of a discolored segment from some weird like soldering type damage. Dead segment. Oh, where's the other guy? Here's some weird discoloration right there. If you notice, like, there's some bright patches. I mean, overall, it's not too terrible. It's not something I'm probably going to notice too much. But yeah, it's definitely a lot less blue, which I love. Because the older LEDs, I had to definitely compensate for and do a lot of color correction and post-production whenever I was editing videos. So that is a heck of a lot more nice. But now I can actually organize this pile here. We'll see how this LED strip lands out, but definitely a lot better. I'm just going to have to wire in a switch over here, which I'll figure out at a later time. Right now I just have it kind of whacked in an alligator clip to the power supply. Actually, I do want to test one more thing. Hold on a second. Let me set the camera down. Nice. So this is the amount of amps that this LED strip is currently sucking up here. Overall, not too bad of a number, 2.4-ish amps. So yeah, that's really nice. I mean, I think like if I were to put another strip in, it might be like what? That's pretty close. Let's see. So that's 24 watts. Let's see here. So yeah, about 30 watts we're using, which not too bad considering how much light we're getting pumped out of this here. I mean, equivalent, that's probably pretty close to like these 60 watts here. The light spread's not as good, but still definitely good for the concentrated amount of light we need for this workstation here. Well, alright folks, that's about it for my miscellaneous projects here for this week. I want to thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, consider subscribing, and check out some other videos, as well as check out the Patreon link in the description or at the end of the video here. Definitely help us out, and have a great day.